Hey guys, okay, so this vlog is basically just going to be a review on the book Dear John, so I guess I might as well get started now. Okay, so I just got the book in the mail today. I actually read it, rented the book, but then I went to buy it because it's an awesome book. And, alright, this video is going to have a whole bunch of spoilers, so if you haven't read the book and you want to, and you do not want it to be spoiled, do not watch this video. And if you watch any further, do not blame me, because it's not going to be my fault. I already warned you. So anyway, oh, by the way, the song's playing. So pretty. So anyway, okay. There are many, I'm not going to summarize the book for you. Basically what I'm going to do is just tell you what I liked about it and all that stuff. Okay, so one of the things that I love is the complex characteristics that John portrays. He's really a distinct character. As he's growing up, he's very misunderstood. I think that's mainly because of the fact of his miscommunication with his father and the fact that he kind of doesn't have a place in this world. He's just hanging out with bad children, and he just doesn't feel like he fits into the world, let alone anything else. And same goes for when he goes through his bar days. Then a switch changes in his head, which really shows that all this time he knew that he was doing the wrong thing. However, this is the way that I think of the book. And he randomly, a switch goes off in his head, and he just wants to go into the army because there's really nothing else for him to do. So he goes in, and then on his leave back to the U.S., he goes to the beach, and he's, just surfing, chilling, and then, he says hi to a brunette, and the brunette is Savannah. Savannah's the girl that he's going to fall in love with. And it's so nice because they have such chemistry. Meanwhile, they just meet this first day, and it's really sweet because, again, he was such a jerk before the army, but once he gets out of the army, he's such a romantic and such a sweet guy. And I don't know. For me, it's I kind of fell in love with John, a fictional character, John, because for some reason I like guys who are they hurt and they show emotion, and that's kind of how John is. And so anyway, they're really nice. He teaches her how to surf and all that stuff. She brings him on a horse, and it's just cute little bonding moments. And then of course there's a few miscommunications, but they agree to write letters to each other, and it's cute because the letters are always so nice, and they're always looking forward to the few years that he has left in the army and stuff, and they're just looking forward to their life together, and it's really sweet. And I'd say that that's basically, you could say, yes, that is the climax of the book, because of the fact that that's when everything really changes. On his next leave back from after the fact that he re-enters the army and he has another few years, it makes the fact that they're together and they could be back together in a few years, it makes that idea harder to believe because of the fact that he said that once before, how could it be true this time if it wasn't the last time? And she understands the fact that, he's going back into the army, but, because it's for a rightful cause, 9/11, but it's hard for her to deal with. And this is when you see a change in her letters, and her letters become very, okay, they're not that bad, but they lack the emotion and the traits that she used to say. She used to talk about how they would be able to be together and get married and all this stuff, and now she's not talking about that. Then he goes back to the U.S. for his leave, which is basically another 2 weeks to chill with her, and they don't get along as well as they did in the past. And that's when I was just oh, this sucks. I just really didn't suspect a good ending after this. And I was thinking maybe she's going out with someone else, and even he thought of this. Now, Savannah has a best friend named Tim, and John always thought that he loved Savannah. Okay. And on his leaves and everything, they would always hang out with Tim, which is Savannah's best friend, and all that stuff, and it'd be nice. But he goes back to Iraq because he's not done with his full term, and later on, her letters change even more, and then eventually they come less and less often, and it's really sad. And another thing that I forgot to tell you guys is that on one of his leaves, Savannah, she was studying mentally disabled people, and basically she diagnoses his father with like Asperger's or something. I don't know. It's like a mental disability. That's, I don't know. They were comparing something to it. I don't know. Whatever. I'm bad with these kind of things. But yeah, it's a mental disability, and it explains why John always had such a broken up relationship with his father, because of the fact that his father couldn't communicate with John to his full ability, because he didn't have the full ability that most people do have. So yeah, so her letters are coming less and less often now, and now his father's are coming more and more often because they're getting along better now that he understands him. And basically she writes him his last letter, and the letter she writes him basically state that she has found another guy and that they just can't work out anymore. So it's very sad, because then he gets really depressed and realizes that he only has his dad and Savannah in this world. He has no other acquaintances or anything. He had his army buddies, but now they transferred because some were injured at war and other army related incidents. So basically his father becomes ill. He has like a heart condition, I believe, and so make a long story short, he dies, and the only person he has left is Savannah. Now he's on his last leave. His father's has died, so where's he gonna go? He goes to Savannah after not seeing her for like forever, and at first he just watches her, and she's like, you know, like taming the horses or whatever, and then it's sad because, you know, they're just very awkward together, and you could still tell that they have a connection, like a sexual connection, like a sexual attraction, and basically they flirt, and then John's like, when can I meet your husband? And then she's like, you already have, it's Tim. And right from the beginning of the book, I knew that Tim was going to be like winding up being with Savannah, because it is very obvious, like John said, that, you know, they're going to be together. A lot of people find this very surprising that they, you know, get together, but no, I didn't think it was surprising. I thought it was sad, though, on John's behalf. And basically, tomorrow, do you want to come see Tim? And John's like, yeah, sure. So basically, to make a long story short, he comes back, and John's like, where's Tim? She was like, come on, we're going to go see him. So they keep driving, and then John's like, where are we going? And then she was like, to the hospital. So John's like, oh. So then they go and see Tim, and Tim is like in a bed, and he's all sick, and he's very pale and all sad. And basically, Tim has been diagnosed with the skin cancer, melanoma or something. I don't know. Again, I'm very bad with those kind of terms. But anyway, so John catches himself thinking, wow, well, if Tim dies, then I get to be with Savannah. But he still doesn't do anything like that. So on the day after that, sorry, I just got confused. After that, they go back to his house, they drink a lot of wine, and they start flirting a lot. And then he spills wine on her or something like that. And then she walks into her bedroom and changes, and he watches her, and she doesn't even care that he's watching her. So like, obviously, she still loves him. So anyway, to make a very long story short, basically, I'm sorry that I keep playing the song, but yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to make this fast, but I'm stalling. Okay, so after that, he feels very awkward because he feels bad for Tim. So he goes back to the hospital and he says goodbye to Tim. And before he can say goodbye to Tim, Tim is like, okay, listen, I know that you love Savannah, and I know that Savannah loves you. She loves you more than she could ever love me. So if something were to happen to me, I want you to take care of her the way that I would take care of her, because I love her and all that crap. So he's just like, huh? John's really like wowed at this. And basically, I guess that just makes him feel so sick thinking about that he doesn't even go to say bye to Savannah, but he runs into her, like, because she was going into the hospital and he was leaving the hospital, so they run into each other, and he's like, listen, Savannah, I love you, you love me, but you have a husband, and you have to stay committed to him and all that stuff. So he's being like a real man. And then basically, to make a long story short, they couldn't afford to go to a different hospital for Tim, because Tim can't get cured anywhere else but like a more expensive hospital. So anonymously, contributes to the fund and gives basically all the fundings. Basically, the moral of the story is that true love is just hoping to see the one you love happy and okay. And that means, you know, kind of giving away your happiness to see them happy.